Earlier they said the Second Amendment's right next to the First because it's pretty darn important. I think several of our folks said that. But it struck me that, you know what? I don't know that the other side actually cares all that much about the First Amendment. Think about what's happened this past year. Democrats have told Americans they can't go to church, can't go to work, can't go to school, can't go to a loved one's funeral. Of course, the rules never applied to them. We had a governor of one of our biggest states, our largest state, governor of our largest state, out at a restaurant, 5-star restaurant, having dinner with friends and lobbyists. Same time he's telling folks in his state they can't even have dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, with their family. We see the attack on free speech. I mean, just it's this whole cancel culture phenomena. First it was Kermit the Frog and the Muppets, and it was Dr. Seuss. I think yesterday it was cartoon characters from the Looney Tunes. Attack on your right to speak, specifically to speak in any type of political nature. We've had Democrat members of Congress, Mr. Speaker, send a letter to carriers asking those carriers not to have certain news networks on their system. That is frightening. You talk about chilling speech. That's as scary as it gets, just because they don't like what's being said on certain news networks. Scary and now they're coming after your Second Amendment liberties as well. I mean, think about your First Amendment rights, your right to practice your faith, your right to assemble, your right to petition your government, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, and then the very next right the founders mentioned, your Second Amendment liberties, they're now coming after that too. Wasn't enough to go after your right to practice your faith, wasn't enough to go after your right to assemble and be with people you wanted. I mean, think about some of the things we saw this year. We had governments, Democrat leaders in states telling Americans you had to be in your home at a certain time with curfews. You had to be in your home by 10. We had another state say when you're in your home you have to wear a mask. And then we had states said, well, when you're in your home you don't have to wear a mask because you're not allowed to have anybody over. Government limiting your First Amendment right to practice your religion, your First Amendment right to assemble, and now they're coming after your First Amendment right to practice to speak and to speak in a political nature. And here we are today coming after your Second Amendment liberties. The Democrat Party is the party that says defund the police, open the border, attack people's Second Amendment rights to defend themselves while they're defunding the police and open the border, and all the while they're undermining Americans' First Amendment liberties as well. This should frighten everyone.